Hey, Kina Wife Mom Boss. Welcome back to another episode of the Kina Wife Mom Boss podcast. Today we're going to be talking about a few things. I know last week we talked about just seeing you really succeed and thrive in this season, right? And so I began to think like, girl, listen, I am very selective on who I allow to pour into me in leadership and friendship, whatever it is. Like people that I select to be my coaches or people that I select to be my mentors are not my selection. Like, I have to hear that from God. I'm gonna be so honest. Like, I don't care how great someone is in their niche, like how amazing their results are. If God says it's not for me, then guess what? It's not for me. I am incredibly selective. So I have a coach, and she was very much appointed to me by God. God told me that she needed to be my coach. I have a mentor, and same thing, God told me to let her be my spiritual mentor, my prophetic mentor. The church that I go to, God told me that that was where I needed to be. Like I literally allow God to lead me in all of these aspects. And the reason why is because, listen, this is why it's so important. Because I believe that God will bless the work of your hands, like point blank, period. The work that you do, the work that you put in, I believe that God will bless the work of your hands. But listen, everybody's spirit is not clean. And sometimes these mentors or these coaches have a brokenness on the inside of them, or they carry a certain spirit. And that is what they're pouring into you. And sometimes, if you don't have the discernment, or if you're blinded to the discernment, or you just really don't want to pay attention to what it is that you're seeing, that thing gets poured into you. And so that is why I am incredibly selective. And when I say selective, I mean like I let God select, and literally I just follow his instructions and what he's saying on the mentors and leaders that I connect with or in community with, what I let them speak into me, what I let them speak over me. Because sometimes, girl, I know it sounds good, like what you're hearing, you think it sounds great, but sometimes what's being poured into you, and many times it can be unintentional. But what is being poured into you is a brokenness or some kind of mental barrier or whatever it is that that person might have inside of them that they haven't dealt with. They're pouring that into you. So I wanted to start this session out by saying be very careful and very selective of the people that you allow to pour into you and to speak life into you. Same thing about people in your circle, the people that you are connected to, girl. Listen, I was having a conversation with my daughter the other day about people who treat others, and this wasn't being specific to her, just having a conversation. People who treat others like options. You know what I mean? Like, let me see how I want to say that. So like, um, they treat you like they opt you in when they need something from you, or they need the time, or they don't have anybody else. And they opt you out when they're upset about something, or they got somebody else, or anything. Like anyone who treats you as an option, they can opt you in or they can opt you out. And I mean, the opt out is like cold. Like the opt out is like non-friendly. It is very distant. It is a break in the consistency of friendship. And so I was having this conversation with her, pertaining to just her life. She's getting ready to go off to college. I want to make sure that she has a good mindset because she's going to be meeting new people and different people. And then of course we're not going to be there. So just making sure that she has that mindset or that wisdom of understanding that people who treat you like you're an option are not really genuine friends. They're not really genuine friends or genuine boyfriends, whatever it is. There is no sincerity there, or they're incredibly insecure in not confident in who they are themselves. And this is the same thing. Like this goes for the same thing like in adulthood. I think sometimes people can be so I hate to use the word desperate, but I don't know another word right now. People can desire to just have someone around, to just have a friend around, to just have a guy around, to just be a part of something that they're willing to put up with people who treat them like an option. Girl, you are not to be treated like an option in anyone's life. Anyone who can opt you in and opt you out, depending on how they feel and what they need and where they want you to be, that person doesn't sincerely have your best heart. I mean, your best interest at heart. And I just want to remind you, like, sometimes you got to clean out your circle. You got to clean out your circle. You got to make sure those people that are in your circle are there for you. You got to make sure that those people in your circle are going to support you. I'm gonna tell you, I walked through my home when we first moved in here. We bought a house probably about 10 years ago. God, we've been living here for almost 10 years. All right. We bought our house and I prayed over my house. I anointed my house. And every now and then I pray like, God, please don't let anybody come in my house and sit in my house who does not genuinely or sincerely desire what is best for me and my husband. And I'm gonna tell you, girl, we don't get very many visitors, and I'm all right with that because people will come and sit in your face and in their heart sincerely not have your best interest at heart. They will come and sit in your face and laugh and talk. And I've experienced this with family. Like they will sit in your face and have a conversation and it'll be all love, but behind your back is all types of negativity. Um, if someone didn't like see you and that person together. For me, if someone didn't see me and that person together, they would think that we hated each other, that we were straight up enemies because of the way that this person was talking about me behind my back. And so, um, after you get over the rejection and after you get over the pain, man, it's so important to just clean out your circle and make sure that those people who are around you like genuinely are there for you and genuinely support you. I have a I don't know if I want to call her a mentor. She's a friend to me as well, but she said everybody got a Judas. Everybody has a Judas. Well, listen, if you letting Judas stay in your circle, you better recognize who they are and know your limits with Judas. Know who your limits with Judas. You can't talk to Judas about everything. You can't have a conversation with Judas about everything because Judas is going to use that as a knife to stab you in the back. And so while you're on your way to thriving, while you're on your way to showing up to max capacity, you got to make sure that the people around you are supporting you and lifting you up. Or y'all are lifting each other up. Like they're not just going to be lifting you up, but lifting each other up, supporting each other to be on the way to the best you. So, right? I had some stuff a couple of years back that went down in my marriage. I mean, it went down in my marriage. And in that moment, I kind of had to look around and be like, who's here? Like, who was there for me? And can I tell you, like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I didn't really want to talk about it with my mom because I just didn't. I don't there were a few reasons why I didn't. My mom loves my husband. And I think the running joke for us was like, I used to tell her that she loved my husband more than she loved me. Like she loved my husband and my husband loved her absolutely. And so I didn't really talk about it with my mom, but my mom is mom and mom knew that we were going through some stuff. And so mom was definitely there like praying and interceding for our marriage. But like friendship wise, and let me just be very honest, I don't have a whole lot. Like I ain't got a gang of friends. Like we ain't got that. Like I don't use the word friend lightly. There are people that I will, associate with, people I have conversation with, people that I deal with. But like if I'm calling you a friend, like an actual friend, that's something totally different. So I don't have like a gang of friends. I just have like a few friends. But um there's a couple people like I looked around and I was like, oh shoot, like where's this person? And so it brought me into a realization of just recognizing that in trials and stuff that you're going through, definitely you have to look around and see who's there. Like you have to look around and see who's got your back. Baby, listen, a community of intercessors, a community of praying women who can help you intercede for your marriage, clutch. Like clutch. I know a couple of people, and I'm like, I thought about this. I was like, to call this person and say, "Hey, could you pray for me, baby?" What they're gonna say is, I hope I don't offend nobody, but if I do, I'm sorry. What they're gonna say is that they're gonna burn some sage. Like, baby, mm-mm, I don't, mm-mm. I don't need you to burn sage for me. I need you to go before the throne room of heaven and intercede on my behalf. I don't know what it is. Oh, I don't mean to get into that conversation, but baby, if you think that sage gets rid of demons, you are practicing divination. You are practicing witchcraft because my Bible tells me that the blood of Jesus is the thing that destroys the work of the enemy, not sage. And so thinking that anything is a tool against the enemy besides the blood of Jesus, besides the name and the power of Jesus. Like, girl, you getting into witchcraft. I'm sorry. I did not mean to go there. I don't know why we went there, but we but we went there. But the situation with me and my family member, like I had this family member that literally would just talk about me like a dog behind my back, but not to my face. And I knew that this family member was talking about me. I actually knew some of the things that they were saying. Our city is so small, like, I knew. And so I was told also by a couple of people. But one thing that God continuously deals with me about is keeping my hands clean because when we come before him and he has to judge us, like he don't want to have to judge me for my retaliation. He won't have to judge me for my part and what I did in the situation. And I understood that, but sometimes it's hard. And so between the people that we are connected with or the people who aren't really there for us or supporting us, the people who opt us in, the people who opt us out, the people who don't show up when you need them to show up, the people who reject you, the people that talk about you behind your back. Like all of those things are things that you're going to experience if you are a kingdom. Those are things those are just going to experience, point blank and period. All of those things that you experience and that I've experienced, the thing that God has continuously drilled into me is to keep my hands clean. And keeping my hands clean looks like no retaliation. It means not talking about them behind their back because of the stuff that they're doing. Honestly, in a lot of situations, it means praying and interceding for them and for their family. It meant making sure that I didn't harbor unforgiveness in my heart for them. It meant a few things for me. And so as we come into this season where we are really set and focused on thriving into what it is that God's plans are for us, I want to make sure that we're walking into this thing with clean hands. I don't want anything to stop my blessing. I don't want anything to stop your blessing and what it is that God is going to do in your life in this season. Simply because, well, listen, God's grace is sufficient. God's grace has covered. But I say this to someone like, God is going to do whatever He's going to do. Like He's going to fulfill His promise. He's going to fulfill His word, but he wants to make sure that you're good too. Like he wants to make sure that your spirit is good too. And that's where the clean hands parts part comes in, is making sure that when we stand before the Lord that we're able to get the fullness of what it is that he wants to do, but also that we won't be um carrying the weight of what we've done in retaliation to those people who didn't show up or mistreated us because it's easy to harbor ill feelings or ill thoughts when it comes to stuff like that. Like I went through years of unforgiveness because of this family member, and the only people who really knew it was my husband and my mother. Literally, I think just my husband and my mother knew like the unforgiveness and the level of unforgiveness. I mean, like every time I had to deal with this person, um, I had to like pump myself over. Like I had to like talk myself into it. And there were my nights of tears just from the rejection. There was nights of frustration and anger and bitterness. And then one day or multiple days, because something like that is not something that like goes away overnight. Like you have to deal with that for quite a while. Like you have to work on that process of healing and deliverance for quite a while. And over time, like God had me praying and interceding for this person. God had me just come before him and just lay it down at the cross. And I don't know who needs to hear this, where I'm going into this with, girl. You cannot harbor the unforgiveness. You have to lay it down at the feet of Jesus because it will tear you up. It will frustrate you. It will anger you. It will have you crying. It will have you acting all out of character and all out of the will of God. And all because of something that someone said or did to you that made you feel rejection, or at least that was what I dealt with. And I'm so glad that I had a community around me, even if it was just my mom, even if it was just my husband, that understood what I was going through and was able to intercede with me and go before God to ask for my healing and my deliverance from the rejection or the pain that I suffered at the mouth of this person that continued to talk about me the way that they talked about me. And so I would say sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. Baby, I don't know who said that, but did they experience life? Like did they experience life at all? Because baby, words hurt. To know what someone feels about you and to know that those feelings that they have for you are smothered in hatred and you feeling like you don't deserve that, that can hurt. Like that brings on rejection. It brings on pain and frustration and it brings on bitterness. And those little seeds of bitterness, those little seeds of frustration, those little seeds of anger, those things grow. Like they grow and they accumulate, they grab partners, they leave trails, like they grow roots. And before you know it, you are a bitter, angry, older person who is still holding on to rejection that happened years and years and years ago. Girl, this is your call to let it go. This is your call to overcome the rejection. This is your call to overcome the bitterness. This is your call to overcome every single emotion that ties you to dirty hands, that ties you to the rejection, that ties you to the bitterness, those things that try to keep you from fully receiving what it is that God has for you here in this place. So we talked about a few things today. Um, we still have a couple of special guests coming up. I'm very excited for them to come up and to share their story with us. These ladies, man, these ladies that get up here and share their stories with us are very special. Um, that's why I listen, literally love it because it is different aspects, different experiences, different things that these ladies have gone through that they're just getting up and saying, "Hey, I overcome this thing. I've overcome this thing." And so with the opt-in, opt-out thing, I mean, that's rejection. With the people in your circle that aren't supporting you, that's rejection. Like I've had to overcome, I want to say a good bit of rejection, but the family member, and not even a family member, like family situation, because the family member turned into like multiple people in the family. And so the family situation for me was rejection, like looking around when my marriage was going through what it was going through and not seeing like certain people that I thought would be there. That was rejection. Like people that opt you in, opt you out. That is rejection. And so I think we all do it rejection on a certain level. And in different aspects, different avenues we deal with it. Girl, you're not out here by yourself. You're not out here by yourself. There are a lot of people out here who deal with rejection. And it's so important to overcome the rejection. Oh, that's so much easier said than done. Because maybe that process took me a while. And sometimes it still want to listen. Sometimes it still want to come up. Sometimes sometimes it still wants to revisit. Sometimes it still want to be like, hey, how are you? I just wanted to come by and check on you, see how you're doing. Okay, I see you. Okay, I see your rejection. But as we're talking about just really seeing the promises of God come through for us, and walking in the fullness of God and walking in obedience to God, girl, you got to deal with that rejection. You got to check that rejection. And we're going to have to do that by checking our circle, making sure that we don't have people around us that's making us feel like we are rejected people, right? Making sure that we are surrounding ourselves with people who genuinely want to be around us. And girl, even if that's just one person, even if that's just one person, surround yourself with people who genuinely want to be around you. And make sure that you have a good community. And stay in prayer. Always stay in prayer. Say your word, stay in prayer. Ask God for discernment, ask God for wisdom so that you can. I was thinking about that the other day. People have discernment and they don't submit that discernment to God. And you know that discernment can lead you to rejection. Let me tell you why. I don't even know if I want to call it. I think if it's not submitted to God, I kind of want to call it intuition. Because like you can feel that people have a certain like mindset towards you. But if you don't submit that to God, you start accumulating all kinds of thoughts and all kinds of assumptions. And it causes you ever get angry about something and don't even know like how you got angry about something. Like you got angry, you just rose up in anger off of an assumption. And that's what intuition does, like essentially. Like you know something's there and you know something's wrong, but you don't know what it is. And girl, you will hype yourself up and be angry and you cause yourself to experience rejection in a place where maybe you don't even need, like you didn't even need to experience rejection. But asking God for discernment and giving that discernment over to God so that God can walk you through whatever it is that you're seeing or whatever it is that you're feeling, and that He can give you the healing and the deliverance that you need. That's something that's also going to help you out, right? So in closing, we're going to just make sure we deal with that rejection. Make sure that we deal with those things and make sure that we are keeping ourselves secure around people who genuinely want to be around us and are genuinely supporting us in this season and genuinely only allowing those that God has to pour into us and to be our leaders and to be our mentors. Respect yourself enough to monitor those around you, to um to have the wisdom of the people, to have the wisdom to know the people that are pouring into you and the people that are connected to you, and in that wisdom understanding that everybody ain't for you, and having the strength to walk away from those that you need to walk away from, right? Everybody don't need to be in your circle, everybody don't need to be in your space, and everybody don't need to be in your head. All right, I'm going to catch you guys on the next episode of the Kingdom Wife Mom Boss podcast, where we are going to just be delving more into what it is being a Kingdom Wife Mom Boss. Girl, a thriving Wife Mom Boss. On this episode, we are getting rid of the people and getting rid of the circles that no longer serve us purpose. Right? All right. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.